What's up? This is Iron and Soul, back today with another video. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment. Today's video is about King Solomon. And King Solomon is one of the best known characters in ancient Israel. Today's subject is, how did King Solomon become wealthy? Or what was the key to his success? Well, let's talk about Israel's history. King Solomon was the third king in their history. The first king was King Saul, who was the people's choice, and the second king was King David, his father, who was God's choice. And we learn even in today's political world, often the people's choice is picked over God's choice. And we can often see the direct culture and reflection of the people based on those who are in power, or the kings of a nation, or the kings of an empire. So you think about King Saul being the people's choice and his father David being God's choice. Solomon was born into this. Here was a man who was in his 20s. And in his 20s, he now has the responsibility and the privilege of being a king of an entire nation. Think about that. We're not talking about a job or being a manager. He was the king over everybody. And so he now finds himself with this massive responsibility on his shoulders. And in addition to that, he's also the son of King David. King David is one of my favorite characters from ancient Israel. Warrior, poet, man of God, a man of war, as well as a man of compassion. Just an overall wise, balanced, and strong man. A warring king. We learn from scripture that David had to kill a lot of people. He was a warrior for his nation, and he was a warrior for God. And so his son became a man of peace. And his peace was based on the wisdom that he had. So what was it that led to the wealth of King Solomon? King Solomon was visited by God in a night vision. And he was asked by God, ask me whatever you want and I'll give it to you. Imagine having a dream, and in the middle of the night you're talking to the Most High. And he says to you, I'll give you whatever you ask me. He could have asked for gold. He could have asked for silver. He could have asked for the heads of all of his enemies. He could have asked for anything. But he made a decision to ask for a discerning heart, to have good judgment, which is essentially wisdom. And wisdom is what you need if you're going to rule over people, if you're going to be an authority or a leader of others. He understood, if I'm going to be a king, if I have the wisdom, if I have the sense to lead other people, that will automatically lead to my wealth and influence and everything else that I need. So because he asked for wisdom, not only did he receive that wisdom, but he also was given wealth, riches, fame as well. So let's talk about the wisdom of Solomon. Solomon understood the animal kingdom. He understood the spirit world. He was a man who wrote thousands of songs. Think about this. Those of you who are artists, who make music, if you write songs, if you are a rapper, if you are a singer, if you are a dancer, if you are a part of the music industry on some aspect, music has great power to it, and when you can do it well, that is a very powerful form of wisdom that is used to speak into the hearts of millions of people all over the earth. And so Solomon used his wisdom to write thousands of songs. He used his wisdom to rule people, to oversee, to be a leader, to be someone who was an influencer, as we were used to in today's terminology. He was someone who had all of that going for him, because wisdom leads to wealth. And wisdom also helps you when you are at war. And all of us are at war at some point. Whether you are trying to build your body, you're trying to build a business, whatever you're trying to do, it's almost like a war. And we learn from King Solomon that in order to go forward in war, you do this with a multitude of counselors. There is safety in a multitude of counselors. So if you have people who can advise you. And one of the things about getting wisdom is being humble enough and intelligent enough to know I don't have the answers. That's why you have coaches. You have financial coaches. You have those who can train you in terms of your physical or your fitness goals. You have those who can train you in the areas of spirituality and going forward in that aspect. You have relationship and dating coaches. There is no excuse in today's world for not being competent in a certain area. So if you don't have the skills you need for that particular aspect of your life, it is wise to ask questions. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you smart. That makes you intelligent. So ask questions. Spend time reading. Listen to talks like this. Listen to podcasts. Whatever it takes to gain the knowledge you need, to gain the wisdom to make decisions that are best for the area of life you're going forward in. And a lot of times wisdom is understanding that I don't know which direction I'm going in. I don't understand my purpose or calling. And so trying to figure that out, that's something that we all wrestle with as men across the entire earth for that matter. So I do believe that the key to Solomon's wealth was his wisdom. He was so intelligent and wise, and that came directly from the Most High God, who is omniscient. The word omniscient means all-knowing. So if you want to have wisdom, it's wise to ask the all-knowing, omniscient God, the Most High. And so because the Most High gave him direct knowledge and insight and revelation and guidance, he had people coming from all over the earth just to hear him talk. He had queens coming from different countries. He had kings. He was able to negotiate. He was very diplomatic. And he had a lot of friends and counselors and people around him because he had wisdom. Remember this, war is won with wisdom. And when you have wisdom, that will eventually lead to wealth in some aspect. And let me say this also, wealth is a lot deeper than just having money in your pocket or in your account or whatever type of finances you have. You can have a wealth of wisdom. You can have a wealth of experience. You can be wealthy in terms of your health. Health is wealth. That is true. Being a healthy, able, fit man is a form of currency in today's world. That means you're able to work. You're able to meet people and do things that are necessary for you to go forward in life. And so I trust that this short word of wisdom will give you the motivation you need to continue to seek for wisdom. What you need right now is wisdom. A discerning heart to know the right way to go from the wrong way to go. And that comes through a bunch of knowledge. You see, to have knowledge isn't necessarily to say you have wisdom. Knowledge is your pursuit of all these facts. You're gaining this insight. You're listening to videos like this. You're reading books. You are watching or listening to podcasts. You may be taking a class. You may be going to a coach. Whatever it is you're doing to gain knowledge. The wisdom comes when you put that knowledge into practice. And when you're able to take your knowledge and make it applicable for your business, for your family, for your finances, for your fitness goals, then that is a direct result of having wisdom. This is your brother, Iron and Soul. I trust that word was of value to you today. If you like this video, leave a comment. Let's create some engagement. Let me know what you think about this, how you've gained wisdom, some suggestions for other men. We are in this battle together, and so I trust that this can be of value to those who hear this. Follow me on Instagram at PercyEdmonds37. Take care. Be blessed.